Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Eric Cooper, and today I'm going to be sharing exactly some of the things that I'm going to be doing with my Amazon business and how I'm just going to be scaling it more, as well as automating more of this business. Now, for those of you guys that don't really know who I am, I've been able to sell over $2 million plus on Amazon and do over 100K with pretty much a fully automated VA system. And I'm going to be kind of, like I said, breaking down a little bit more about that. Really, this channel is just about me kind of just sharing raw game and advice that I've learned and just kind of helping inspire, some of you entrepreneurs that want to get into Amazon and just how this business works and how you can actually turn it into something that's a little bit hands off. So let's get right into things. So there's three things I'm going to be covering today, which is going to be about product sourcing, my ordering system, as well as I'm going to be sharing at the end how I'm going to be able to 2 to 3x, what I'm doing, and how you guys could also 2 to 3x if you guys want to copy this exact framework, okay? So let's start off with the product sourcing system. The biggest thing that I've been kind of avoiding or not necessarily setting up properly is going to be a full system with my VAs, my virtual assistants that are overseas, on just finding more products. So the best way to really expand your catalog, in my opinion, I think this is the best way, and this is kind of how I've been having good success. Just need to dial in this strategy a little bit more. But it is basically storefront stocking until you find profitable items. If you guys don't know what storefront stocking is, you guys can check out some of my other videos. But you basically want to storefront stock and use that strategy. It is the best strategy for a beginner. Even for someone like me that's a little bit more advanced, this is still a really good strategy that I have, all my VAs do. But the key to making a lot more money and finding a lot more products is once you've actually storefront stocked, a ton of different products, the next step after that is a strategy I like to call leaf sourcing. Now, this is not a strategy that I've posted on YouTube. I haven't really made a full tutorial on this, and I probably won't. But I will be sharing how this strategy works because essentially the way leaf sourcing works is essentially you are going to be diving deeper into either the brand that you found a profitable product of, or the website, or the product itself. All right, let me fix that. So essentially what I'm saying is every single time that you find a profitable product with storefront stocking, you want to immediately leaf source that product that you just found, okay? And so the way you would leaf source is by either one, diving deeper into the brand, right? So let's say you found, Burt's Bees chapstick. Now we're going to dive deeper into all of Burt's Bees listings, dive deeper into some of their other products. Or we're going to dive deeper into the website, okay? So the website we actually found this first profitable product with, we're actually going to dive deeper into that website and see what else it has to offer. Because if you found a really good coupon or a really big sale, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more opportunity as well on that website. There's not just going to be that one product. So diving deeper into the website. And then the last thing is the product itself. So I know this can kind of seem a little confusing, but a really good way to, actually find more opportunity is to dive into the product itself. So for example, this Burt's Bees chapstick, what we could do to easily dive deeper into it is by actually looking at the bundles. Maybe there's a 2-pack, maybe there's a 3-pack, maybe there's a 4-pack. Diving deeper into the other opportunities within that product that you've already found. Okay, very, very easy strategy to implement. Like I said, I probably will not be posting a video on leaf sourcing, but you guys can take what I just shared with you on how to do that and kind of, learn some strategies on your own on how to do that. This is something that I've only really shared with my one-to-one students, to be honest, like my actual community, but you guys could still use what I just shared right there. Okay. Now, as far as old leads goes, so this is something that is super untapped potential for me because I have over 3,000 plus profitable products. Well, they're not all profitable, but I have a catalog of 3,000 plus products, okay? And I've been underutilizing this for a very long time. And so what I could easily do just to find more products and find more opportunity is literally just going through that list of products. And once I find opportunities that are still doing really well, they're selling great, then I implement leaf sourcing again. So if I can just find, even 10%, even 1% of these products, I have 30 more leads, plus I can just leaf source all of those leads that I find. And again, probably, 2x the amount of products that I have, right? Because lead sourcing, you're guaranteed going to find a few more items by just diving deeper into the brand website or product. So that's an easy way for me to just kind of maximize more spend and make more money with just finding more products. My team is pretty good, but I definitely need to solidify more of this system. I would highly recommend you guys also probably maybe consider implementing this system. Maybe not if you don't have a VA, maybe just for yourself, learning how to just actually leaf source and diving deeper into the old products that you've been finding, that are old from a while ago. That's going to be a good opportunity. And ordering. So I really want to have a better SOP when it comes to ordering. Just having more systems in terms of what the cancellations are, making sure we're tracking down stuff like that, because I'll have orders get canceled and I need to make sure the VAs are actually, calculating that, and, they don't leave those units on the prep center. So when the prep center doesn't receive them, they're not confused. So just making sure that's actually tracked down correctly, as well as just having more of an actual system set up for the amount of, delays we should do for ordering, and, if we're testing a new website, what the process should look like for that. Not something super urgent, so I haven't, done it yet. This one is super important, and I've actually started implementing this already, but just checking the return percentages before restocking. So this is actually very important, especially if you're a newer Amazon seller. Return percentage can really eat up your profit. So you have to make sure you're double checking this. I've always double checked my return percentages, but now that I'm offloading more stuff to my VA, they need to be able to check this stuff. And so I have to basically make sure they're actually checking and making sure that we're not about to restock something that has a 30% return percentage, because that would just not be good for us at all. Usually what you can expect to see for return percentages, depending on category, it will vary, but I will say you're anywhere from 5 to 7% in terms of a return percentage. It will vary based on category and the amount of volume you're doing in sales. So yeah, it will vary a lot, but that was what I would expect. Okay. And so we're just making sure we're double checking that before we restock. And yeah, the last thing. So for those of you guys that really want to 2 to 3x kind of this business, this is literally what I'm planning on doing to actually, grow things super quickly. And that is basically just hiring another VA and actually automating more of the ordering process. So currently right now, the way my ordering process works is I have my VA order, my VA manager, the one that actually does all the ordering. We have a group chat in WhatsApp, and they will basically send both my VAs that are sourcing products. So right now I currently have 2 VAs. Both of them are going to be sourcing product, and they're going to be sending in those leads, right? Sending them into that group chat. They basically show the profitability, right? So how much profit it makes, and they also show the Kipa, okay? So what the actual price history looks like. And so instead of me responding back 40 units, 20 units, this many units, instead of responding back consistently on kind of how many units I want to actually automate more of that. So when those products are actually sent in, my VA manager can have, better judgment that, hey, we should order this product, we shouldn't, we should. Just having a better intuition, because, with the time difference, there'll be some products where it's on sale that I actually miss out on for the next day because, the sale ends and, I was asleep or couldn't, answer. And so that's why I kind of want to automate more of it. And also just, it would kind of make things a little bit more hands off. I probably spend about 20 to 30 minutes, answering those messages. So automating more of that would be better for me. So that's kind of what the goal is right now, to 2 to 3x things. Now, hopefully you guys are going to use some of this and actually take advantage of it. The other big thing with hiring another VA is they're going to be able to do this product review system and just the sourcing system here. And so that's just going to be an easy way to really grow, a lot faster. I'm still debating if I want to hire another VA, to be honest, because 2 VAs is still definitely more than enough to do 100, 200K, possibly even 300K a month. But obviously if you have 3 VAs, it's going to make that process a lot faster and maybe a little bit easier. So I'm thinking about that. But automating the ordering is definitely next in the to-do list, okay? Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like, obviously subscribe. if you liked what you saw here and you're like, hey, maybe I want to work a little bit closer with me and, work with me one-to-one and have me, either help you with, finding more products, building up a team, or maybe you're just having some issues with like, simply ungating some products or scaling up the operation itself, you can actually apply below this video, as well as if you want to just more in-depth kind of training. I'm going to be hosting a live event soon, so I'll have the link below that to register for the next live training event. Make sure you come to that because that is going to be pretty much all of this times 10. And at the end, I usually do a Q&A, so you'll actually be able to ask, all of your questions to me, and I can help you with growing this business. But other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.